Welcome to Sex Positive Gaming. I'm Annie, and today we're going to look at Date Ariane Remastered. This remake of the 2004 classic is available for PC on Steam and for PC, Mac, Android, and Linux on itch.io and their Patreon. So, one of the biggest problems when you're first introduced to a classic anything is that it will immediately remind you of so many other things. I had this problem when I first saw Citizen Kane, and most recently when I watched the Mushoku Tensei anime. But once you take that into consideration, you can find so much value in the experience. Like, I would have never discovered my love for westerns if not for being exposed to Sergio Leone's movies. That was totally my experience with Date Ariane Remastered. I was barely alive when this originally came out, and I had never played this particular game in the Date Ariane series, but I have played the 4 other games that came after, and I was really excited for a chance to play what is arguably one of the first Western adult dating sims. Graphically, the game is in line with the 2 most recent titles in the series, Ariane in Paradise and Hope Punk City, but does look dated when compared to the latest DAS models available. The sexual interactions are animated and there is sound, but this is definitely, let's call it tamer, than most games you will see in this space. I think this is because this game is catering to a different audience than you will normally see in our industry. I am asked all the time to recommend games that are targeted towards women. Sadly, while there are many games with female protagonists, very few of them are really primarily intended for a female audience. I'm not trying to gatekeep as to what counts as a game for men or what counts as a game for women, but I think we all understand that different aspects have the ability to appeal to different audiences. Given that, I highly recommend Date Ariane Remastered as a game that really feels like it was made for a female audience, with secondary consideration for a male one. You have the choice of playing as a male or female character, but how the game unfolds and what entails as a successful date or not is a totally different mechanic than the staple love corruption systems that are prevalent in our space. Flavor-wise, the paths you choose will impact your overall experience, but you can expect to see a mostly male heterosexual or female homosexual experience based on your initial choices. There's also group, lesbian, exhibitionism, humor, and most importantly, romance. You have to be smart, funny, caring, and sexy if you want this to be a successful date. How you go about this is up to you, but thankfully there is a setting in the options to allow you to see all your variables and how your actions impact them. If only real life had that. Overall, I really enjoyed my experience with Date Ariane Remastered. There are a ridiculous number of achievements to unlock, but you do get a reward once you do. I wish that kind of feature was in every game. On second thought, if I felt compelled to unlock every achievement in every game that I played, I might die. But it is still a cool feature. I really wish the models were more updated, but I do understand why the developer, Ariane Barnes, chose what they did. For those who are familiar with the series, I also think this aesthetic will be awesome for the feeling of nostalgia. So if you're looking for a classic visual novel that is truly from a female perspective, I highly recommend giving Date Ariane Remastered a shot. Not only is this one of the earliest Western games in our space, it is still one of the few that is primarily intended for women. Let me know what you think. What other games do you feel that are primarily intended for women that aren't just some optional speedrun to ultimate corruption? Until next time, no shaming, just gaming. Thanks to all this month's support on Patreon. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you all.